Hey everyone, Justin here. Welcome back to the Solo Podcaster. Today we're diving into a topic that's been on my mind a lot lately. We always hear about how smart computers are getting, but today we're talking about the flip side. This episode is called The Downside of AI. AI, or artificial intelligence, is everywhere, but it's definitely not perfect. Let's look at three very simple reasons why we should be a little careful. Number one, the confident guess. First off, AI is kind of like a student who reads a million books but doesn't actually understand a single word. See, AI doesn't actually know things like you and I. It's just really, really good at guessing which word comes next in a sentence. The problem? Sometimes it guesses wrong, but it says it's a total fact. Experts call this hallucinating, but it's basically just the computer accidentally lying to you. If you're using it for something important like school or doctor advice, that's a big uh-oh. Number two, the job shakeup. Next, let's talk about work. AI is like a coworker who never sleeps, never eats, and works for almost no money. While that sounds great for a big boss, it's tough for everyone else. If a computer can write an email, draw a picture, or answer a customer's questions in 2 seconds, some companies might decide they don't need to hire humans anymore. It's great for the company's wallet, but it makes it a lot harder for real people to find a job and pay their bills. Number three, learning our bad habits. Finally, there's the mirror problem. AI learns by reading almost everything humans have ever put on the internet. The issue is, the internet isn't always a nice place. Humans have biases, which is just a fancy way of saying we can be unfair to people because of where they're from or what they look like. Since AI learns from us, it copies our bad habits. It can end up being unfair to people without even realizing it's being a bully. The fake reality. Number four. Now, let's talk about our eyes and ears. AI is getting really good at making fake things look real. It can make a video of a famous person saying something they never actually said, or a photo of an event that never happened. These are called deep fakes. The downside? It's getting harder and harder to know if what we see on our phones is actually true. If we can't trust our own eyes, it's going to be really easy for people to get tricked or confused. Number five, the energy hog. Here is a downside people don't think about much. AI is very, very thirsty for power. Every time you ask an AI a question, it uses a lot of electricity, way more than a simple Google search. These big AI brains live in giant buildings called data centers that get very hot and need tons of water to stay cool. The downside? Using AI all the time can be pretty tough on our planet and our environment. It's a huge energy hog. Number six, the brain muscle problem. Last one for today. What happens to our brains? Think of your brain like a muscle. If you use a calculator for every single math problem, you might forget how to do math in your head. If we let AI do all our writing, thinking, and problem solving, your own brain muscles might get a little soft. The downside is that we might stop learning how to be creative and smart on our own because we're letting a machine do the heavy lifting. So, AI is a powerful tool, but it's not magic. It's like a hammer. You can use it to build a house, or you accidentally hit your thumb. we need to make sure we're watching our thumbs. I want to talk about something that's becoming a bigger part of our lives every single day, and that's artificial intelligence, or AI. Now, don't get me wrong, AI can be an incredible tool. It can help people write, learn, create art, edit videos, and even assist doctors and scientists. But today, I want to focus on something we don't always talk about enough, the downside of AI. Because while AI can be powerful, it also comes with some real challenges. AI is getting smarter and more powerful every year. That's exciting, but it also means society needs to think carefully about how these systems are designed, who controls them, and how they're used. Technology itself isn't good or bad. It depends on how humans use it. So the real conversation isn't about stopping AI. It's about using it responsibly. We need thoughtful discussions about ethics, jobs, education, and privacy so that AI helps society instead of harming it. Because at the end of the day, technology should serve people, not replace what makes us human. Another area where AI has sparked a lot of discussion is writing and storytelling. For centuries, stories have been one of the most human things we do. Writers create worlds, characters, and emotions based on their own experiences, imagination, and creativity. Writing a novel or a short story often takes months or years of work, but now AI tools can generate stories in seconds. For some writers, this feels exciting because AI can help brainstorm ideas, outline plots, or overcome writer's block. It can act almost like a creative assistant. But for others, it feels very different. Many writers worry that AI might start replacing the value of human storytelling. If a computer can generate thousands of stories instantly, will people still appreciate the time and effort it takes a human writer to craft something meaningful? Another concern is originality. AI systems are trained on massive amounts of data, including books, articles, and creative works written by real people. That means some writers worry that their work may have been used to train AI without their permission. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns, jobs. AI is becoming capable of doing tasks that humans used to do. Things like writing articles, answering customer service questions, creating graphics, or even programming. For some people, that can be exciting, but for others, it creates fear that machines could replace their jobs. History shows us that new technology often changes the workforce. But AI is different because it can automate not just physical labor, but creative and intellectual work, too. That raises an important question. How do we balance technological progress while still protecting people's livelihoods? Another issue is accuracy and misinformation. AI systems don't actually know things the way humans do. They generate answers based on patterns and data. That means sometimes AI can give information that sounds very confident, but is actually incorrect. And in a world where information spreads quickly online, that can lead to misinformation being shared before anyone realizes it's wrong. Then there's this topic of creativity and originality. AI can generate music, artwork, and stories in seconds. That's impressive, but it also creates debate about what creativity really means. Many artists worry that AI systems are trained on their work without permission. If machines can generate content instantly, it raises questions about how we value human creativity. Another downside is something we don't always think about: dependence. The more we rely on AI to think, write, or solve problems for us, the less we might practice those skills ourselves. Imagine students relying entirely on AI to write essays or solve homework. Over time, people could lose some of the critical thinking skills that are important for learning and growth. There's also the issue of privacy. Many AI systems rely on huge amounts of data to function. That data often comes from things people post online, search for, or share digitally. The question becomes, how much of our personal information is being used? Who has control over it? And finally, there's the bigger philosophical concern: control. Imagine spending years developing your voice as a writer, only to find that a machine can imitate the style almost instantly. That raises difficult questions about ownership and creativity. There's also the issue of publishing and competition. With AI, someone could theoretically generate dozens or even hundreds of books very quickly. That could flood online marketplaces with AI-generated content for independent authors, especially those who work hard to write and publish their own books. That could make it harder for readers to find genuine human stories. And for writers who depend on selling books, that competition could feel overwhelming. But at the same time, many writers are learning how to adapt rather than fight against technology. Some authors use AI as a brainstorming partner. Others use it for editing suggestions, research help, or outlining ideas. In those cases, AI becomes more of a tool rather than a replacement. The key difference is who is guiding the story. A computer can generate words, but it doesn't live a life, it doesn't feel emotions, experience childhood memories, or understand what it's like to struggle, grow, and change. Those things come from human experience, and that's something no machine can truly replicate. So while AI may become a bigger part of the creative process, many writers believe that authentic storytelling will always come from people. Because readers don't just connect with words on a page, they connect with the human voice behind them. So, if you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with someone who might find the conversation interesting. And I look forward to talking to everyone in the next video.